Today I bring you my new perfect 4-2-3-1 after the update. It's going to be a banger of a tactic we're going to test with 4 very different teams today. If you do enjoy the tactics on this channel, be sure to leave a like, drop a little subscription, and definitely leave a comment below on any future tactics you want to see, because I'm trying to get some new suggestions. We've already got tons. Let's keep them coming. Let's get into the tactic testing phase. So we're going to start off with a team I have not tested with this year. That is going to be Inter Milan, obviously over in the Italian division. And we had a very good season. In fact, an invincible season. We picked up 33 wins, 5 draws and 0 losses. Quite a few draws, but you know what? Technically, still an invincible season. 107 goal difference, 104 points, and also we won 3 other trophies that season as well, including the Champions League against Real Madrid, the Italian Cup against AC Milan, and also the Italian Super Cup against Fiorentina. Again, a quadruple winning season. We scored 123 league goals in the division, conceded just 16, and majority of them goals arguably picked up from a certain Martinez, the man on the thumbnail. 50 goals across all competitions this season, and it is going to be Bastoni coming in with the highest rating, which is quite good to see because we can see how good the defensive side can be as well. At 7.57, as it is going to be a bit of a FIFA legend, Juan Cuadrado coming in with 29 assists. Really positive sides. And over to the team stats, we are going to feature in 6 of them. That is going to be the most points per game at 2.74, the most goals at 123, the most shots for at 712, the fewest shots against as well, which is a stat I love to have in my favour, at 186, and also the fewest conceded and the most clean sheets. Possession-wise, we are going to be up there as well, coming in with 57%. Going over to that data hub, it's going to look really appealing for you guys. 3.24 goals a game, really impressive stat by itself. You partner that alongside of a 0.42 conceded ratio, close to 19 shots a game, 88.42% pass completion, and nearly a 78% tackle win ratio. You're looking at a killer tactic. You really are. Now over to the French League, and any Monaco fans, I've made your day, because finally PSG lose the league, and it is going to be us that come in and maintain, or claim, not maintain, that French League title. Third place prediction. First place winners, we love to see that. Only losing 1 game as well, so that is nearly 2 invincible seasons. And don't get me wrong, the Monaco team is very good, but usually PSG are fairly dominant, and we got the job done. That's all that matters. We didn't win the French Cup. Do I care? Not really, because obviously the main focus is going to be the league, as always. We scored 116 goals, conceded just 22, and it is going to be Ben Yedder picking up 23 goals, alongside a Salisu coming in with 7.74 highest average rating. That is 2 centre-backs now, and it is going to be Golovin picking up 20 assists, or Golovin, should I say, picking up 20 assists. So it's looking really good. How do we do with the team stats, though? The team stats, again, we are going to feature in exactly the same 6, and also possession exactly the same at 57%. We also had the fewest shots against at 184, the most shots for us at 584, the most points per game, the most goals by very slim 5, because obviously it is PSG in the league, but also picking up the fewest conceded and the most clean sheets. Defends well, attacks well, wins games. What more do you want? Going over to the data hub with this Monaco team, it is going to look very impressive. 3.41 goals per game, a conceded at 0.65, so a little bit more, but still way under a goal a game. Just over 17 shots per game, an 88.85 pass completion, and a tackle win ratio sitting at 77.47. You can see the comments, Josh, where are the weaker teams? This is going to be the first one. It is going to be Forest Green Rovers in the Sky Bet League 2, and Troy Digney had one hell of a season here, picking up 34 goals. We love to see that across all competitions. It's going to be Luke Daniels with the highest rating, and Jamie Robson picking up the most assists. In terms of the league, we did lose games in this one. We lost 4, but to be honest, with a team like this side, we were expected to lose some of the games, but a very convincing league win. Quite a big gap between first and second, that being Stockport, and obviously Sutton clenching the last place, coming in with 81 points compared to our 118. In terms of the other competitions, it wasn't that impressive, but like I said, similar to the Monaco team, especially with this team actually, I was trying to finish inside of the top 6, so to win the league even blew my mind. But going over to the team stats, and I wanted to include this part in the video because it's actually really impressive. We actually had the most possession out of all of the teams in this league, and there are a lot better passes of the ball on a lot of better teams. I am going to say that very clearly. So the fact we've managed to do this is very impressive. Also picking up the most shots for, the most points per game, the most goals, again, quite convincingly over Stockport in second place, but also maintaining that really defensive side of the game at 32 clean sheets, or conceded, sorry, ranking us quite clear of Colchester, and also the most clean sheets, again, ranking us quite clear of a very strong Colchester team. Going over to the data hub, it's still going to be way under a goal conceded, which was the main idea of making this tactic. I wanted a really defensive 4-2-3-1 that still can go out and have that killer instinct, and we had that with this team as well, with 2.59 goals per game, just over towards 16 actually, shots per game, a pass completion of 87.39, and tackle win ratio sitting at a pretty average 75.22, so a little bit lower than the previous two saves. And lastly, it's going to be 14th place predicted, Bristol City in the Sky Bet Championship, but we had a fantastic season, picking up 32 wins, 8 draws and 6 losses, winning the first place position by 2 points over a very strong Norwich City team, which we actually drew against on the third to last game of the season, so it really did get taken down to the wire, but we got the job done. It is going to be Naki Wells coming in with the top goal scorer, Max O'Leary picking up the highest rating, and Matty James with the most assists. Also got to the semi-finals with a team like this in the Carabao Cup. We do love to see that. We scored 88 goals in the league and conceded 32, so by far out of the 4 teams, we didn't score as many with this side, but defensively, we remained exactly the same. Not going to dominate many stats despite winning the league, which is always interesting to see, but most clean sheets coming in at 23, the fewest conceded at 32. Possession-wise, quite a decent 56%. I would say the average for this is 57 to 58%, with majority of the teams you've got to play with, and also picking up the most points per game at 2.26. Over to the data hub, and again, it is going to be the least amount of goals we scored out of all 4 of the teams, to be expected in my opinion. Still quite good at 1.91, still way under a goal conceded, so that makes up for not scoring 2 or 3 goals a game, because we've got to win every game anyway. Shots per game coming in at 12.3, a pass completion of 88.18, and a tackle win ratio of 75.65. Just to show you, even when you are playing with the teams that aren't getting, you know, the average sort of 2 goals a game, you do have games like this, a complete 4-0 blowout against Cardiff, as we absolutely humiliate this team. A great ball into the box, and we got started very early, as in 23 seconds early. A very positive start to the game, and how about this for another bit of positivity, as we are going to go 2-0 up, Cardiff shocking at the back inside of 2 minutes, and it gets even worse for them, because 12 minutes into the game, we make it 3, and at this point, this Cardiff team, that is beautiful play. What a goal that is. A beautiful team goal. Hopefully, you're seeing how good this is. And we do get one more, basically the last kick of the game actually. It's going to be Pring out on the left. He's going to take it through into the middle, and what a finish from Wells. Even with Forest Green, we had games like that as well. A 5-0 win in the league, a very convincing win as well. As we get things started off early again, this side inside of 11 minutes, no 23-second job on this occasion, but 11 minutes, it looked positive from here to be honest. 20 minutes into the game, it's going to be Maddox back in the middle, great first touch there, into Jenks, and how about that for a hit, into the bottom right corner, past Lewis, nothing he could have done really. A bit of set piece action now, back into Jenks, a great back heel, into Debut, into the box, into Garrick, and we are seeing all sorts of goals on this occasion. We love to see it, and it's quite nice to show you the highlights with the smaller teams, because you can see what we're doing with these. So if you take it into Milan, you know, you take a Monaco, it's simply miracles, like that free kick. Of course, now to your favourite part of the video, that is going to be the tactic breakdown. If you are enjoying so far, be sure to leave a like and definitely subscribe. And it is coming up for Christmas, so I do want to say we are currently running a giveaway on the Patreon, which is going to include a copy of FM24 and also a free mystery shirt as a bundle for all paid tiers on the Patreon that ends on the 10th of this month. So definitely get involved and check it out. You also, from becoming a Patreon, get access to all 3 variants, early video and tactic release, priority in your tactic and rebuild requests, one-on-one help, and much more. Definitely worth checking out. Loads of you guys already gone over. To be exact, 1,033. So we're building a nice little community. Be sure to check it out. Let's go over and talk through this tactic then. So it is going to be your 4-2-3-1, and you are going to see some roles which typically I don't always use in a 4-2-3-1. The big one being the ball-winning midfield player. I usually go the box-to-box / deep line playmaker, but I have switched it up, and I'm really liking how this sort of transforms your normal 4-2-3-1 into a little bit more of a defensive one. But going over to the goalkeeper, that is going to be a goalkeeper on defend, so no sweeper keeper on this occasion. A wing-back on the right is going to simply be on support, on close down more, and also tackle harder. Quite an aggressive fullback that is going to put in a challenge. 2 ball-playing defenders who are going to be exactly on the default. Now, if you are playing as a team that haven't got players that can play as a ball-playing defender, yes, you can obviously switch this and go to a central. But if you can, do stick to the ball-playing defender, because it does help really play out from the back. The left back is going to be a wing-back on support, simply on close down more and also tackle harder. So you are going to naturally have very aggressive fullbacks that are going to get further forwards. They are going to close down and they are going to put a challenge in. And that's exactly what I like. But as I always say, if you are picking up too many bookends, you can take tackle harder off. Now going over to the unique position, I would say, that is going to be the ball-winning midfield player simply coming in on support on marked height. So now I use various roles in this position. Usually I like I say, I go for a box-to-box or a deep line playmaker. But on this occasion, just having the ball-winning, just having him in the team made all the difference. He's pretty much a brick wall. Having him on marked heighter as well took so many players out of the game in the opposition midfield who were trying to get into space. I would not change it for the world. And Mezzala goes next to him, who simply is going to be on support. On the right-hand side, it's going to be an inside forward on attack, on pass at shorter. An advanced playmaker comes into the middle, simply on the default, on attack. And on the left-hand side, an inside forward comes in, on pass at shorter, simply on attack. And to finish it off, the man up top, the advanced forward, on tackle harder, roam from position, and pass it shorter. Now, there is logic behind this. These three are going to be passing it shorter, and they are going to be linking up together really, really well. This player is going to roam, so he's going to roam from left to right, get into all different areas, and obviously pass really consistently with each winger. And that is the complete mindset behind this front three, and they work together so well. Now, over to them team instructions. This is going to be based off, by the way, a tiki-taka positive mentality. A positive mentality. Just to clarify that, we are going to go into the approach play where we are going to opt to pass into space because although it is a tiki-taka tactic, I also do want to have that sort of not be afraid to go more direct when we need to do so. So that is going to be selected. There are going to be a few things in this little map here as well. We're going to overlap left to get the wing backs involved. We're also going to overlap right while focus and play down the right and the left while playing out from the back. So there is a lot of focus on using the wide areas of the field, and we saw it in the highlights how well that worked, even with the smaller teams. We've still got the big boy teams to show you. So I mean, yeah, it really does cook. I don't know why, but it cooks really well. The final third is going to be to mix crosses alongside of work ball into the box. We are going to go with a shorter passing directness, and we're going to match that with a higher tempo. That is your in possession. Let's go to in transition. In transition, there are going to be a few things selected. We are going to go with the counter-pressing style. This is optional, completely up to you. If you want to have more possession, don't select it. But if you want to pretty much have that sort of guarantee of going forward and trying to pinch a goal, I would go and have counter on. That's what I tested with throughout all of the testing. If you are very adamant on having high levels of the ball, simply untick this and you're not going to fly at them as soon as you get the ball. But you're also going to distribute to anyone across the back line while taking short goal kicks. And lastly, the out of possession tab, we are going to go with the high pressing line of engagement. We are not going to go with standard. We're going to go with a higher defensive line. We're going to max out the trigger press. And of course, we're going to put some pressure on the goalkeeper. And we're going to get stuck in. Show you an important game from this Inter Milan save. That is going to be the Italian Cup final in a very comfortable 4-0 win against a very bitter rival AC Milan as we get off to a fantastic start with a beautiful goal there. DeMarco plays it into the middle here and he just runs at the back line and they fix goalkeepers, right? All I'm going to say, very interesting bit of goalkeeping as DeMarco plays it onto the edge into Klaassen of all people, who thumps it into the bottom left-hand corner. And I feel like a lot of these goals, apart from the previous one, were unstoppable for the keeper, to be fair, but they still need a little bit of work, in my opinion, as we can see. I don't always show 4 highlights, but on this occasion I am, because this proves it is really good for an underdog team as well. Because we played PSG here, we were at home, but we won 4-1, so even against the best teams in the league, the best team in the league, we come out and, to be honest, we absolutely battered them. I mean, 4-1 is a very comfortable scoreline, and the goals were of really good quality. Finding space, getting it into the middle where Ben Yedder can obviously finish, and this was not a lucky win at all. We deserved the win. Yes, we did concede. We were likely to against PSG. But to be winning a game like this against a team like PSG, as comfortable as what we are, genuinely speaks levels to how good this tactic is, and it was utter dominance. I mean, we went 4-0 up. We did concede one, which I will show you, but to go 4-0 up against this team is absolutely incredible. It was a good goal from them, to be fair. A little bit lucky as Zakaria does give it away. A quality finish, but I'm not complaining. But of course, as promised, we are now going to go over an attacking and a defensive variant. Again, you can download all 3 of these by joining the Patreon in the description below. But let's go over and break these down, and let's just explain the differences. So, the The goalkeeper is going to be the same. The wing-back is going to be the same alongside of everyone across the back line, because we did make a lot of changes in the team instructions, and also too a few of these players going up the field. So you are going to notice no more ball with a midfield player, because this is a tactic to be used to chase a game if you're a goal down, or maybe you're just playing a really bad team and you can't get the breakthrough. This will get you the breakthrough. So we are going to go with a box-to-box, because obviously it's a fantastic role. He gets forward, gets involved, but also is going to come back and defend, so we're not going to lose too much in that midfield. I can't even say it. The midfield defensively, but we are also going to gain another player going forward when we need to do so. Next to him is going to be the Mezzala. He can't go on attack, unfortunately, because it would be way too much of an attacker midfield too, considering we've got a shadow striker now, so he does have to remain on support. The inside forward on the right gains shoot more often, alongside of shoot more often on the left-hand side. Just really important to get these players actually having cracks at goal. If you are trying to get a goal, you're trying to obviously break through a really difficult team, or you're a couple goals down, for example, don't be afraid to shoot, guys. Now, if your inside forward shooting is absolutely abysmal, sort of like under 12, under 11, then maybe do consider taking it off. But in my opinion, anything over 11, you're going to be seeing some decent shots. So that is sort of situation based. I don't know what team you guys are playing as, but take that into account. In the middle is going to be a shadow striker simply on roam from position, and the advanced forward is now going to be pretty similar, but he's also going to be on shoot more often. So we're going to have a front three that are going to be on shoot more often and really getting stuck into the game, having cracks at goal, because even if they don't score, as long as it goes on target, they've got to gain a set piece anyway. Now over to the team instructions, the mentality does change to attacking. That is going to be attacking, and the change is going to simply be the be more expressive. That is going to come in. We are going to get the players running at the back line. Now I did trial having run at defence as well, but there was no real method behind the madness, whereas just having been more expressive on does actually work a lot. It just gives them a lot more freedom when they go and obviously try and counter-attack or try and attack naturally. We've kept work ball into the box on because we want the shots they're going to be having to be in a good area, although they are going to be shooting more often. So we're definitely going to keep that on, and all of this does remain the same because it works so well with that default variant. Transition, one simple change, that is going to be distribute quickly. Lastly, out of possession, again, very situation based. If you are in the last 5 minutes of the game, 10 minutes tops, you can whack this up to much higher if you need a goal, and that is all you need. Obviously this is going to make you very vulnerable at the back, but if you need a goal to stay in a cup, you can obviously whack that line up a little bit, alongside of stepping up more, getting stuck in, and of course, to much more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. Lastly, I'm going to include an away game / defensive variant. Can be used to go in against some of the powerhouses or to seal out a game against almost anyone, and it is going to change a fair bit, so stay tuned, as we are going to go through the goalkeeper, who is going to remain the same. The wing-back is now going to be no more of this sort of, I was going to have him on defend. But I looked at the team and I was like, do you know what? A lot of players are on support anyway. They're going to get back. They're going to help defend. So we don't want to have too much of a defensive tactic to the point where we literally have nothing to offer going forward. So we are going to keep him on get further forwards. The two ball playing defenders are going to remain exactly the same, and the wing back on the left is going to match exactly the one on the right. In that midfield, the ball in the midfield player comes back in on pass it shorter and mark tighter, alongside of a central midfield player, the risk-free option, on support on pass it shorter, dribble less, and shoot less often. The inside forward is now going to be on support on the right, on pass it shorter, and sit narrower, exactly the same as the left-hand side. Basically, now they're going to be narrow players, so this sort of five here, which by the way, are almost all going to be on pass it shorter, bar the advanced playmaker, they're going to be sort of right here. So it's going to be very easy to keep the ball, maintain possession, frustrate the opposition, and let the big teams overcommit so you can essentially play through them quite easily. And lastly, it is going to be the advanced forward coming in on attack, on pass it shorter, roam from position, and also tackle harder. To the team instructions, the mentality is now going to drop to balanced. That is going to be balanced, and we are going to see quite a fair few changes. So the only things we're going to have on now is play out of the front from the back line, because we don't really need to have the play down the left and the right. We're not going to focus too much. We're going to let the team do what they need to do, and that is, as you can see, play very possession-based football, as it is now going to be much shorter, dribble less. These two go really hand in hand, so you're going to have a team that isn't going to be looked to dribble, take on players, get past players, but they're going to favour the passing option. So having everyone quite linked together, sitting narrow on the sort of left and right hand side, it all starting to add up now. Hopefully you're seeing that, and it does work really well in game. With a higher tempo, work ball into the box, and mixed crosses. In transition, we are going to see a few things selected. That is going to be counter press. We're not going to counter when the ball has been won now because no real urgency, and you can see when we do go on the counter, a lot of players are going to go completely flying forward, and that's fine for the default and the attacking, but if we are playing a real top team, I don't want to be too overcommitted, especially in the sort of early stages of the game, the first half almost. We are going to play to anyone across the back line while taking short goal kicks. Lastly, and quite a big change, the higher line is going to be scrapped. We're going to go with that standard defensive line, the high pressing line of engagement, much more often, and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. And that is going to give you guys 3 fantastic variants of my new perfect 4-2-3-1. I had a ton of fun making this. Who doesn't love playing with a 4-2-3-1? It's probably the best formation in the game, if we're honest. Let me know in the comments if it is your favourite or your 4-3-3 man. Let me know, and if you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, drop a little subscription, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day. And if you guys did enjoy today's video, here are going to be a couple more videos I'm sure you're going to love. Down here, you're going to see my previous video, and here is going to be a video I personally recommend for you guys to check out. Trust me, you're going to love it.